I'd like to put a plug in for General Motors. This used to be in our dyno room at the R&D department where we would try different exhaust systems on it, hook it up to dyno. 3 years ago, after doing that to it, it's still dynoed at 500 plus horsepower. For the last 3 years, we've been doing this to it at all these car shows without ever doing anything except change the spark plugs and the oil once in a while, so it's pretty tough. It's a 502 crate. This beautiful air cleaner, the nice folks at Spectre Racing, and they've got their big black truck out here somewhere, they decided we should dress our engine up, and they kept hearing us talk about getting the air out of the engine, so they decided to help us get the air in the engine. That's where that came from. We've watched stock small blocks go up on this dyno that sound bad to the bone, but we've watched them switch mufflers and pick up 8 to 15 horsepower, a stock small block. And we didn't add that horsepower by giving them a better flowing muffler. It was already in there. It just had a restrictor plate in the exhaust system. That's the reason we're doing this dyno, to show you that one of the places you should never lose horsepower is your exhaust system. There aren't any moving parts in an exhaust system, so you shouldn't lose horsepower. Loud is not always the best flowing, and quiet is not always the most restrictive. We'll start at the bottom of this chart up here with our loudest muffler, which is a race muffler. But we've got other mufflers that flow just as well. We just don't call them race mufflers. And we'll go all the way up to a stock muffler, which is fairly restrictive. Small mufflers are louder than big mufflers. Oval mufflers are quieter than round mufflers. That's just the way sound is. This is a great muffler for Wednesday night at the drag strip. It gets you through most tech inspections. On the street, it's actually better as a resonator. In fact, we use it as a resonator in a lot of our catback systems. If you got a system right now that's a little too loud, fit this in and it'll quiet down. It's not too loud, but it goes wah, 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 wah at a certain RPM. This will probably take that out of there. Hasn't changed since the 60s. The sound hasn't changed much since the 60s. We don't have the little louvered hooks in there anymore to make it pop quite as much. The main change has been the price has gone up continuously in the last 40 years. This is the only muffler on this rack that is not the smallest body size in that series. This comes 12 inch, it comes 40 inch. The rest of them are all the smallest muffler in that line. They all come bigger. Hey, if you like that really distinctive sound of a chambered muffler, if you want to make that stock engine sound pretty wicked, try our Thrush 2-chambered welded. Great sound, great price. But if you've got a car like this one sitting on the dyno, then here's what you want right here. This ultra flow straight through. This muffler right here flows over 1,000 cubic feet of air per minute per muffler. It's every bit as much a race muffler as this one. It's just 4 times quieter. And if it's not quiet enough for you, add this one in as a resonator. You still won't nick any horsepower, and you really mellow it out. Now in his car, since he's got headers, he's got a header collector muffler. He's basically got this muffler with the 4 tubes that just shove right on the collector. But we've had 1,200 horsepower cars on that dyno before using this muffler. Last year the top 10 either had this one, or both of them. This muffler, the stainless version of this muffler, and that super turbo are our best. Lifetime warranties against anything. Just keep your paperwork. Loss-free horsepower ratings. The ratings on this pair of mufflers is 1,840. Loss-free horsepower guaranteed. Listen to this warranty, 90 days safer sound. Within 90 days of purchase, if there's anything you don't like about these 3 mufflers, including the sound, we'll buy them back from you. This stainless is the same straight-through technology, but it's 2 layers of stainless with an air gap that makes it a little more mellow. If you'd like like a nice throaty rumble when you're getting on the gas, but when you're cruising, you just soon not hear very much other than your radio or your traveling companion, then think about the Dynomax or the Thrush Super Turbo. The Thrush is the less expensive of the two, handles modest horsepower, has a great sound, is great on the pocketbook.
I have on the cabinet.
But if you get up above, say, 350, 400 horsepower, think about the Dynomax Super Turbo. It flows better. It flows 500 CFM. It supports up to 600 horsepower, depending on the size you get. And it does it very quietly. This will handle that LS whatever engine. Now, Walker's our parent company. They've been around forever. And for your commuter car, if you ever need a new muffler on it, we highly recommend this. But why would you want a hot rod with a stock muffler? Now, we're about a lot more than just mufflers. Please take a trip through our truck today. We're looking at a brand new Corvette catback system there. A couple kiosks down, you're looking at a system, a complete header back system for a 1970 Dodge Challenger Barracuda. So we got both ends of the market.